Guys, you know, as African black people, even if you want to isolate yourself and say South African black people, yeah, you can still look at it at that context. Because us as black people, whether we want to like it or not, we have been through a lot. And we still suffer as black people. And it seems like we're going to continue suffering. We're going to continue being the race that suffers the most into the future. Just because we are black people. We don't care about ourselves. We don't defend ourselves, our own. We allow our own black leaders to be humiliated in public. We don't say anything. We join into the laughing of our leaders. But I have a clip today of the advocate Sikhakhane explaining how black people will continue to suffer even into the future. Take a watch.
So they tolerate certain things that are done to black people, and they can't tolerate certain things. And it tells you that it's because throughout slavery, colonialism, and apartheid, and now, we continue to tolerate black suffering. We regard it as not so much suffering. You know, it took Europe, the Holocaust, to even coin the word genocide. You know, the word genocide is made out of two Greek words, geno meaning tribe or ethnic group, and side meaning killing. Black people had been dying in different places, killed by colonizers, but never coined that word. These words are coined when people of another race are killed. And I think it's the time for us to look at, historically, to look at what Africans have gone through. When you drive out of this studio today and you drive home, look around you and see who's suffering and see why you tolerate it every day. And it's because I've run out of tolerance for seeing, and it's not because I'm the most downtrodden. I've taken myself out of those situations. But I think we can't tolerate a majority of people, Africans in particular, in the country of their birth, continent of their birth, land of their ancestors, living like pigs. And they've lived like pigs for many years. And I'm not troubled much by that. I'm troubled by the fact that we tolerate it. We perpetuate it. We are fine with it. We don't even know where Eugene Koch lives. But we want to know what Zuma and Julius Malema are doing. We want to target Julius. We want to target Zuma. We want to target Hlophe. We don't know where apartheid killers are. Let me tell you where they are. They live in plush houses in Pretoria and elsewhere. Some of them get pension from this government. And we are busy pursuing black people for their small misdemeanors.
I think self-hate is a problem.
That is where we are. And that thing can change in a day. It can change in a day. We need an honest reflection about ourselves, who we are. We don't want to do it. It's like that, you know, the refusal to look in the mirror. We don't want to look in the mirror.
The reality.
We don't want to say it because we've internalized the fact that there's something not right with us. We are second-class, subhuman human beings. And it's one thing for another race to think that of us. It's another for us to accept it. And that, for me, is what historically has been happening.
You just heard him, right? And it's very sensitive what he was talking about. Even though you want to isolate and put yourself as black South Africans, you are still black. You are still colonizing your own country in South Africa. Black people in our country, we suffer the most. We are the ones who are expected to be working for this corporate, for these businesses, washing dishes, doing food, cooking food, being waiters, being waitresses, being salesmen, being the one to sell something. Like, and we enjoy it. We even cry for employment. Hey, we're unemployed, we want employment. Hey, the private sector must employ us. We are so desperate and ready to be slaves for corporate, to work for other people. And we don't seem to care about each other as black people. Look at my brother there, Mr. Likau. Mr. Likau recently is losing his business. His business is being liquidated. It's going out of business. Plenty of black people, black millionaires, black businessmen, black people who have the resources, who were closer to him when he was at the highest peak of his game. They were closer to him, taking videos, pictures, music videos with him. Now that is going down the drain, his business is dying. They don't seem to care about him. They don't seem to help. They don't want to help him. They don't want to invest in his business, at least for it not to go out of business. They don't want to help him remarket, you know. They don't want to involve themselves with him. Now he's out of business. That's how much we don't care about each other. We won't support our brother Likau. We won't be there buying clothes. We won't be there investing in his business, investing in stocks. Yeah, for you to also benefit. We won't do that for a black man. And we'll laugh. How his business is going out of business. We've been saying it is out of business. Laughing. Likau. It's being so. It's a shame. We are a laughing stock to the rest of the other races. We work for the other races. Let's be honest. We do slave work for the other races while their bosses sitting in offices waiting to pay us peanuts while we make for them millions. Look at where black people are staying. Yeah, isolate yourself, black South Africans. Leave African black people, black South Africans, where you are staying, Emalokshin, in the townships. If it's not a Mukhukhwini, it's a back room. If it's not a back room, it's a family house whereby you guys are so squashed in one house. And there's probably like more than 10, but there's like 3 people working, if not 1, if not 2. 3 people have to feed the rest of the house. So it's not something to be proud of. We can be proud of our melanin. Yeah, we have melanin, but what has melanin done for us as black people? What has melanin benefited us as black people? What has our melanin done for the economy of black people, black economy? What has the melanin done for us as black people to see the world as our oyster and see all the opportunities and grab them without complaining about unemployment rate? We are the only race that commits crime the highest as black people compared to other races. We are the only race as black people that don't mind beating our own women, raping children. Yeah, there's psychopaths in white families, there's psychopaths in Indian, whatever races. But it doesn't justify that we also have to do it. But we still do it as black men. Our black women are being humiliated online, sexualizing themselves, showing their most private parts in the online. We don't say anything as black men, black fathers. We don't protect our women, our young girls, our young ladies. We join into the test. We hype them to sexualize themselves even more. We consume the sexualization. There's no more morals. There's no more dignity we have as black people. We idolize divorces as black people. Like we celebrate divorces like we are celebrating parties. We don't celebrate families. We don't celebrate relationships, people. We want relationships to end so we can have some drama to talk about. Then we must be proud. Hey, black people, hey, South Africa. Hey. Like no, we must be serious. We can't always just get drunk, get high, and not live in reality and be delusional of what is happening in our environment. It's tough in our environment. There's high crime committed by black people, black South Africans. Stealing, stealing, hijacking people, robbing people, mugging people, black on black violence, black criminals being shot at by black police, black criminals flooding black jails in a black South African country. Like, should we not talk about this just because you're gonna be triggered? Hey, no, we are special. Like, Like, okay, we are special, it's fine. But we have so many problems. So many problems. But it is what it is. Thank you very much. May God bless you.